From Sigma Woman, this is the Business for Aligned Women podcast. I'm your host, Clara McKay, your aligned business coach and advocate for all things showing up for your vision. This is a no BS space for brave-hearted women who are actually craving change. I'm dedicated to bringing women's visions into reality, equipping women with all they need to build an abundant future, and shutting down all of the ways that you keep yourself small. Here, we're all about a women-centered approach, non-negotiable value alignment, and making bank without compromising your well-being. Each week, you're already one step closer to your most aligned and abundant future. Welcome to this week's episode. Today, I'm going to be giving you 5 ways to increase your sales before the end of the year. If you're interested in optimizing your business to get more sales, I hope you've gone and downloaded my free Optimize Your Instagram for Sales checklist. There's over 25 points in there for you to go through and make sure that your Instagram is not blocking sales and money from coming through. I even talk about the ratios of how much you should be selling versus how much you should be doing other kinds of content, what I suggest you should put in your highlights, Instagram, auto response DMs, all of that kind of stuff, what you should be pinning to the top of your posts so that people are going to be able to make quicker purchases and you're going to end up with more sales at the end of the day. It's completely free. Jump in the show notes and grab it. Set all that stuff up for the end of the year so that you can start 2025 in that beautiful optimal space. There is so much that we could say when we talk about increasing sales, but I want to give you some really simple, easy, non-stressful things that you could action this month without feeling overwhelmed. But the most important thing that we need to recognize and you need to kind of integrate when it comes to making sales and increasing your sales is mindset. I honestly think that when it comes to making big income, your mindset is like 70%. And the other 30% is like having the systems, knowing what you need to focus on and being relatively consistent with them. But that 70% of believing that it's possible, seeing to believe, knowing that you can do it, and having people around you that you've seen be able to make this amount of money in a similar kind of business to allow you to rest into that open possibility and that openness. So we can talk about believing that it's possible, having that money mindset, having good money story and all of that stuff. But there's another little missing piece that I find with pretty much all of my clients, and that is that the definition of a business is that it sells something, it gives a service or a product in exchange for profit. So if you understand that that is the true definition of an actual business, your main activity in your business and your main agenda should be selling. If you are coming into your business thinking that it's anything else or that your focus should be on anything else most of the time, that is the one thing that you're going to need to fix in order to start increasing your sales and getting healthier sales. This is not an art project. This is not a creative project. This is not a community not for profit. This is a business and its primary function, its primary activity should be sales. If that is news to you, it's time to sit down and have a think about that and working on that way of thinking and approaching your business before thinking about or trying to add in any of these other pieces that I'm about to talk about. If you've got that down pat, here's some other things for you to look into. Bundling some offers. So you might have some offers that are similar, or you might have some different products that complement each other. And an easy way to increase some sales before the end of the year is to bundle them up, offer them maybe at a slightly decreased price. Maybe I get $20 or $50 or 10% off for buying all of them. This is going to make the experience easier for the potential client, and it's also going to reduce their decision fatigue. If you've been consistent with your socials and you've been talking about these offers for a while, there's likely to be some people who've been saving up or thinking about or considering or on the fence about your offers. And by bundling things up together and offering it in one package, that might likely get those people over the fence. So thinking about what offers you could bundle up together and offering that as a kind of fast track in your services or your products so that people are going to be able to make that decision to buy much quicker. We're almost at the end of the year, and I know that that can feel really overwhelming, but it's so important in your business to be planning ahead and thinking ahead, thinking long term, especially if you're someone who struggled with consistency up until now. If you feel like you drop the ball a lot, you struggle to be consistent, you struggle to show up ongoing in your business, you need longer term planning. Let me help you. Let's sit down together and map out your entire 2025 so that you can start next year ahead of the game, not feeling like you're catching up, not feeling like you're on the back foot. I have an incredibly limited number of planning sessions left for this year. You can jump in the show notes, book in a one-to-one planning call with me, and you will get a 12-month plan specific to your business with all of your launches and everything that you're focusing on mapped out so that you can create a spacious, gentle, nourishing, and free way of being in your business next year. Another really simple one that people often don't think about is to reach out to previous clients. So you don't need to do this in an icky way and you don't need to be like a cold salesperson, but you might have people that have worked with you in the past and they've mentioned that they want to work with you again. You could reach out to them. Maybe you could offer them a discount or you can offer them a special bonus, or you could offer them something and say, if you book in by this time before the end of the year, you're going to get this extra little special something. Or you might just reach out and say, hey, I would love to continue supporting you. And I have a couple of spaces open if you're feeling ready to jump back in. The next point is to increase prices. Now, I know for a lot of people, you might be like, what? What are you talking about? I'm trying to make more sales and people are going to buy it if it's cheaper rather than more expensive. That couldn't be more wrong, and that couldn't be more different to the evidence that I have seen happen in my business and other people's businesses. I've recently had two clients triple their price and within a week get more sales than they've had over the last 3 months. And those clients are not only more aligned, more easeful, but they're paying full, really high caliber, high quality clients. And that's purely because of the perceived value of the offer. If it's cheap, people might think, well, it's obviously crap, so I'm not going to invest in it. Whereas if it's more expensive, people will see that it's probably worthwhile and worth trying. If you already are making sales, by putting your prices up, that's going to increase that profitability as well. And the lucky last point that you could try is to have an end of year offer with a cutoff date. If you just have offers that are rolling all of the time, there might be no urgency or no kind of emotional activation that is pushing people to take action. I don't suggest you should sell for urgency all of the time, but this urgency piece of just knowing that there is one spot, two spot, three spots left, it's going to be ending on a certain date might be enough just to make them take that little bit of action. Try these 5 tips in your business. Let me know how it goes, and I'll be in your ears next week. If you can't tell, getting to share this time with you is something that I find truly sacred. I know that you're busy, but if you've taken anything away from our time spent together today, could you extend the love and share this episode with a friend, your community, or on your socials? Tag me so that I can see it and I can share it too. Or when you have a spare moment, leave the podcast a review. These things cost you nothing and will mean so much to me. Let's get this resource into the hands of more women visionaries and help us collectively move towards our most aligned way of being and doing business together.